Hello everyone, it's Shel from Paper Octio Studio, and today is the, what is it, 20th day of hashtag November Daily Art Journal Challenge, art journaling every single day, all through November. Now this is in my small Dilutions journal, it's the 5x8 one, and it is a page that I hated, and I hadn't even finished it. I had this big crocheted doily glued to it, which I peeled off, and you can see it tore the page a lot, but I figured once it has acrylic paint over it, it's going to reseal it anyway. So I put a couple coats of Prima Art Basics Heavy Gesso over it and let it dry overnight. And then now I'm going to work over the top of it. So if there is a page that you just cannot stand, and I really hate one of the ones in my other journal, and I said I wasn't going to change it, but I might. I don't know. I'm feeling like I might at this point. But there's one that has a really bad drawing in it. And I was just going to leave it there to show that I've improved, that my drawing is getting better. And I should do that, but oh, I hate it so much. But anyway, you can go over your art journal pages by just putting some gesso over the top. Even if the paper tears. This paper in here, I'm not sure what it is, but it has separate layers, and just basically a layer tore off the top of it when I took away that glued down piece of doily on there. So I'm using Dilutions paints again. I want to use these as much as I can and try to get some of it used up before it's completely gone to the bad. I'm using lemon zest, squeezed orange, and vibrant turquoise, and the trick is that I'm going to need to blend the orange and the turquoise, and blue and orange makes brown, if you guys didn't know that. They are not good colors to blend. So I'm trying to use some white gesso to help me blend that line. I don't want a solid line like that. I want it to be blended, but I don't want to sit there and rub the orange and the turquoise together and have a brown layer either. So I'm adding some white gesso and then going back, adding a little bit more turquoise, then going back, adding a little bit more orange, just so that I can get this a decent blend without making a horrible color in between, which is bound to happen if you blend those two colors. But I have a quote. This page is based on a quote, which the prompt is window or windows. I don't know if I said that, but I went searching on the internet for a quote about windows because the only one I could think of was like eyes are windows to the soul and things like that. I didn't want to draw another face. So I was looking for a quote, and I found this quote that I really liked, and it was talking about light shining from within. And so I wanted to make the center of my page appear to be light shining, and that's the reason that I used the yellow and the orange and then kind of blending it into the turquoise. That was the whole idea behind why I did that. So then I'm just fussing with it. I keep trying to blend it, fuss. I finally just give up, and eventually I just give up. I think about now is when I give up. I'm not sure. Looks like it. So then I decide to add some stenciling over the top. I like to make layers, and this just seemed like a good idea. So I decided to get out this is a Dina Wakley stencil, which I really enjoy, but I've discovered after trying to find links to it for the description box below, I always add the links to the stuff that I use in case you want to find it, mostly on Amazon. But I've searched for this thing, and I've decided it's discontinued. It doesn't exist anymore, and that doesn't surprise me because I got it at Tuesday morning, and Tuesday morning seems to have the things that are going out, colors that are being discontinued, or stencils or whatever that are being discontinued or have been discontinued, and that's the reason that they sell them so inexpensively, which is great for us. But when I go and try to link it to something, so that you can find this stencil, because you absolutely have to have it, I can't find it. I can't find it anywhere. So that leads me to believe it's discontinued. But I did find a different one and that has different sizes of circles like this, and I linked that one to the description box below in case you need a circle stencil. It's a good idea to have one that has all different sizes like this. This one also has checkerboard on it, which I like too, but I use the circle part a lot more. So the paint that I'm using is the Deco Art Media Line Fluid Titanium White, and it is extremely opaque and pigmented, and that's the reason that I like it. Works great for this. Went right over those dark colors and came out white. And then I also used it for the splatter. I used the leftover for the splatter. So then I even had some leftover, so I decided to use some mark making tools. This is the inside of a tube from something, and I have these sitting on my desk, so I just grabbed a few of these and made some marks as well, going with that whole circle theme. And then I decided I needed a geometric shape, so I got out the black marble dilutions, and this is another really highly pigmented paint that goes, has no problem going over stuff. So I'm using a cosmetic sponge and this Heidi Swap stencil to create some triangular patterns. Unfortunately, I'm getting a little bit of bleed under, which I guess I'm just not being careful enough with my sponge. It's irritating me a little bit. I keep trying to wipe it off. Excuse me. It's been a long day. So I'm just going around, and this is what's called by a famous YouTuber named Patty Tolly Parrish. This is called putting on the pop of black. And it's dramatic. It's it really is something. There's something to be said for using pops of black. But I know I'm going to be putting more black on the page, so I was fine with adding the black. And I'm doing some black splatters as well with my fan brush. Ooh, I'm a fan of the fan brush. Woo! So then, once that's dry, I decide I even need more pattern because it's just that kind of a day. So I got out some different washi tapes out of my collection that have the same colors, the oranges, the turquoise, the yellow, and then also have black on them. And I'm adding them in different places. I like to stack them like, you'll see, I'll do it in a second. But using different ones that have similar colors and stacking them one on top of the other to make an interesting place for your eye to travel. But I don't use it very often, but when I do, I really have fun, so I should use it more often. So these are the very narrow, single, solid color one in black, and I'm making a frame around what's going to be a stained glass window eventually. That's part of the quote. So that's why I left that space bare in case you were wondering. So I'm making my black frame with the washi tape as well. And I'm using some fluid matte medium to go under and over the tape, just like you would with anything with a collage, because this stuff doesn't stick very long. It might seem like it's going to, but then the next time you open the thing, it's like, oh, dang it, it came unstuck. So I always try to put some type of glue over and under, just like a collage medium type of a situation, whenever I use the washi tape. So then I have some different ones. This one has the similar colors and it's got circles, so it seems to coordinate with the rest of the page. And I've also got one that has kind of lines and then some dots that I'm going to use as well. And these all came from different places. I did link a cute see, I've already done the links for this one before I edited. That's not usually the way it goes. Usually I'm doing it the opposite direction. But I was saving something else, and yeah, anyway. That's a whole nother story. But I found a cute set of washi tape on Amazon that I would like to order, and I linked that just so you guys can see it is cute. had like pattern and solids of the coordinating colors in a set. It was kind of cool. I've never bought a set, but they were cute, so I went ahead and linked them. So then now I'm going to add my quote. I didn't seal these, so they do smear slightly, but not as much as it would be a problem. This is an inkjet printer, so there's always the possibility that when you get it a little bit wet with your matte medium, that it's going to smear. And often I do seal it before I cut it apart, but I guess I was impatient and I didn't do it, so whatever. Whatever. So then I have to trim off the little excess washi tapes around here and there. Not a problem. So then my next thing is to draw my design. I'm actually using a picture of a stained glass window that I found on a home decor site. I can't remember which one, Overstock maybe, that I thought was a really cool stained glass window. I'd like to have it in my house. And it looked like you could just buy it. I mean, obviously it's not going to fit into a window, but it looks like they were just hanging it from a chain. So you could just hang it in your window and then it would still have the light shine through it. So it was very pretty and I liked it. So I went ahead and drew a similar design. It's not exactly the same, but similar. And then I'm going over it with my medium tip Posca pen because since it's stained glass and it's leaded with, the black lead around every single thing, I wanted to have a heavier line. So that's why I'm using the medium tip. So of course that takes me a minute because of all those little lines, but also I have to be careful to make sure that everything's connected because when you're putting together pieces of glass in a stained glass, everything has to connect to everything else. There's no gaps at all, or else it would just fall apart. My mom used to do stained glass when I was a kid, and I should try it sometime. It's really cool. I think she took a class or something, and then she had some supplies and she was making ornaments and little windows and stuff like that. It was pretty cool. I like the look of it. Sometimes the paper piecing that I do looks a lot like stained glass. So then I'm still using my medium tip marker, the bigger one, and doing some sketchy lines, trying to make that quote stand out from that very busy background. Because I did go a little bit layer crazy. Which is what I like to do. It's fun, but I did want it to stand out, so I really put quite a few scratchy lines around. Then I'm going to paint my stained glass window. I erased a few of the pencil lines first. And for this I'm using Bombay India ink. These are Dr. P.H. Martin's India inks. And the way I like to use them, and I just kind of forgotten about it until I remembered, is I like to use them like a watercolor by mixing it and diluting it some and whatever with water. But then once it's dry, because it's India ink, it's permanent. So it's kind of like a permanent watercolor. And since I've been wanting to use things that are not reactive with water in my mixed media, I really need to use these more often. They were kind of tucked away and I forgot about them. So that's the problem when you put something away because you don't want it in your face, sitting there on your desk, you don't have enough space, and then you forget it exists. So yeah, I'm going to be using these more now that I remember they exist, hopefully. So I'm just using different colors, and I've got water, and I'm dipping my brush in water a little bit and trying to make it see, some of them are quite opaque, so I'm trying to make them like a marbly, swirly, opaque, translucent look, because I'm trying to go for a look of stained glass. So then I'm also sometimes blotting a little bit to try to pull back in sections and areas some of the color to make it look more marbly, because I'm really trying to make this look like a stained glass window. I think it turned out pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it, actually. So if you're enjoying this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up, leave me a comment so I know that you're here, and subscribe if you haven't already so that you don't miss any videos. There's a lot of videos coming out, so I would suggest you subscribe if you're at all interested in watching my videos, because you don't want to miss one, and then the next time I'm talking about something that I said in the last video, but you missed that one, and then it gets confusing. So yeah, subscribe, hit that subscribe button. What else? Oh yeah, over on Instagram is where the prompts for this challenge are for the whole month, and you can join us, or you can go and look at everybody's pages on Instagram by typing in hashtag November Daily Art Journal, and it opens up a folder of all the people, not just myself, Peg and Sheri and Lizzie, but everyone that's participating. There's a lot of people and there's a lot of pages, so it's pretty fun to look at and go over there, look at all their pages and give them a little heart, likes, you just click the little heart to say you like it or leave them a comment, because it's really fun to see what everyone does using the same prompt, what that one word or two word prompt brings to their mind is so different with every person, and it's just fun. I enjoy it. I love my YouTube community, and I love that everyone's wanting to participate and play along with this. So I'm excited, and I want everyone to go check it out. Also, if you want to see Peg's or Sheri's videos with the same prompt, Lizzie's not really doing videos. She's got a 5-week-old baby, so she's just kind of busy. I don't understand it. How could she be so busy? Yeah, little babies, they take up all your time. So she is posting her pages in Insta when she thinks about it, and otherwise it's just the other two doing videos. So I've put their links below, hopefully, in the description box, and you can click on them and go check out what they did with the same prompt. So I'm just using different colors. This is actually 2 different sets of the Bombay inks, and I linked both of them for you. One of them has more like earthy tones, and that's the first one I had. And then I realized there was another one that had brighter tones, and I'm a brighter color person, so I ended up getting that one too. So I have both of them. Probably didn't need both of them, but I had the other one first, and then the one that I really wanted I got second. And that's fine. That gives me more colors. You can also blend these. Like I blend to try to make kind of an olivey, darker olive green. I blend on my deli paper with a couple different colors, and the water. Just like any other watercolor, you could blend them. And they have this plastic thing. When you stand up the bottle, it holds it, which I think is a really good feature. And it has a well as well that you could use, but I don't ever use the well. But being able to stand it up in that thing so that it doesn't tip over is like a lifesaver for me. I would tip it over. I would tip it over and spill it all over my desk, because they're just little, tall, skinny bottles, not very likely to stay up. So, yeah, good feature from Dr. P.H. Martin's Bombay inks. Very good feature. So I think I'm almost done coloring my stained glass. Then I'm going to dry it, and then I'm going to put some glossy medium over it. Oh, first I'm going to do doodling. I was telling you that some of my paint was seeping under those triangles, so I decided to doodle around them with my white Posca pen, and it makes it look so much better. Not just because of the gloppiness that I had, but also just looks better. Like even if it wasn't, I should still do that, because I think it looks cool to have the sketchy triangle lines around the triangles. I like the effect. So I was prompted to do it because some of the paint seeped under the stencil, but I'm glad I did it, and I should have done it anyway, even if there wasn't, is what I'm saying. I don't know if I'm making sense. I'm pretty darn tired right now. And then I add some little black dots. The one washi tape has 3 little black dots is part of the design, so I decided to continue that into my page using my black fine tip Posca pen. And then I put the glossy medium to make the stained glass look shiny. Could also use glossy accents. That would look really cool, but I didn't want to wait for it to dry, so I wanted to be able to close my book quickly, so I didn't. But anyway, that's it for me, and I hope you enjoyed this, and bye-bye.